coffee and say welcome to Vector Grain. And hello in the living rooms, the one that's gonna listen to this as well. Today we're gonna look at Vector Grain, and I've loaded up just in a track. And right now, when I just loaded it up, Vector Grain, nothing is gonna happen. Otherwise, you can see there's coming a lot of dots. When I press the MIDI, I can zoom in, and yeah, it says drop sample here or record audio input. So we can put in a sample just by putting it here, or we can click this first button up here. But before I do that, when we're out here and none of these buttons are pressed, we can have our envelope for this synth. But if I click this, it goes away. But here we can put in some sample, and I've found a couple of samples. Not that one. This one, or just something we can play with. Let's just take this one because it's a long sound compared to if I had this one. There's only sound in the beginning. So we would start with this and put it in here. And when I hit one note, it will just keep on trigger at a certain length. Down here, when we're up in the first tab, we also have our recording. So we can have a track over here that's running drums or some piano or something, and we can record it directly in here as well. We're not going to use that today, but it is there. So the next tab is the one we're going to look at. And the first thing we're going to see is the start. So this is where it's going to trigger the sample. Now you can see it will trigger about here. So this is where the sample are starting. So we can choose where the sample should start and how long it should be. Yeah, I have a reverb on it because otherwise it will sound... Yeah, sounds just better with the reverb. Long reverb though. Let's double click and it will go back to its original. We can click this for the fine tuning in milliseconds. So now it's quantized. So this is 4 notes. It's or quarter notes right now. And then over here is the pitch. If we want to use that, but we can also do that with just our note. But we can tune it, and over here it's fine tuning. So double click again. Then we have a fade. So we can say put the full fade up. Then there's a fade on it. And the other way, it will be fade down instead of upwards. Almost like an envelope, but just a fade instead. And we can use this to make like pads and stuff, make them more mixed in when more notes are being added. But right now, we're just gonna take one. And at your right side, we have a filter and different filter types. We also have a ladder filter, and then we have some more control over the steepness of the cutoff. We have cutoff and our resonance or Q. And again, double click to get to where we started. Then we can reverse the sound. And the higher the notes are, the faster the playhead would go, like sampling. So, yeah. The fun part is when we go down to these and let's unclick the reversed and choose down here is the particle engine, what we can have the dots over here make. So right now you can see it will go to right and left, and there's like a gravity in the center. The gravity we can change, but we'll do that later. But let's take this and say panning and fire that up. Now over here, and we'll go over here. But if we take one more note, they would do like cross over. So that's cool because then something magical will happen. It will kind of float more. The next one, this one is the sides when it goes sideways. So if I have this one, the panning will not be that extreme. So we can say, okay, I want something when it goes up and down. Let's try and say pitch. And you have to be careful with this if you go full up. So smaller. But when would you ever use that, right? That's where the S up here comes into, because we can say octaves. And then we can then it's more usable, and again we can just tune it a little bit down so it won't be that extreme. You can also try a major. It's kind of fun, but I like it to have this on octave because then it's more manageable to hear. We can try gain, so when it's in center it will be louder and not so loud when it's out here. And the harder I press on the push or a MIDI keyboard, the wider the dots will go out. So we can take accent on this. Actually, when this is up, it will be louder at the outer lines. If this is the opposite, it will be louder in here. Let's take this down. Let's try and take it. The next one is how fast. So you can see the gravity that's faster in here and slower, faster and slower. So this is the how fast it is. And let's take the filter on this. So now it starts to sound really nice. Let's try and take the size. And then we have the size of our small particles in here. Right now, they're the same size. And let's take size. So it's how will go. But right now it won't do anything because the balls are the same size. That's where we can go into the particle engine. And then the mass here, we can say full randomize, and then so now the speed will be randomized. Let's take the scale to a minor. And while we're here, right now this is on MIDI, but we can make like a pad-ish thing. So if I hold this MIDI and turn up, now we have 2 on here. We can go up to 16. So this is pretty nice. Now I don't have to press anything. Let's go back in here. Now you can see how many places, and there's why it's called grains, because it's small sounds from the sample we're gonna hear playing all over. And then let's try and make it minor. Kind of all over the place. But again, the pitch. And then the size. So this is nice. Again, some cutoff. Try and reverse it. The lock over here is, if I zoom out, if I hit lock, so this, our main play is when it will start. So if I had this and I have some drums going on, it will only, when the play head up here is set on play, that's when the machine will start. That's what the lock does. If it's off, it doesn't matter where it is. We have a scale. That's the particles we can shift into the middle. So if we take this down onto MIDI, so we can make some pretty cool sounds with this. Again, I would take this up to 16 again. We have speed, how the particles move and react, how fast they will go. And then we have gain down here. Double click. Then we come into the attractor. So we can see right now it's a gray square, and it's because we can attract, say the blue ones are attracted to this, and we can say, oh, we want them to attract them over here, all the blue ones, and this is the strength, how much they should be on this. The yellow one will still go, and we can actually say right now the yellow ones go over here, but we can say that they should be not attracted to the blue one. So if we go over here, they can move. Whoops. So we can get the balls to react how we want to. We can also say it's only the yellow ones. And again, the velocity is how much they react to that. Now they react over here. No yellow ones. There they go. So I would definitely have it to be at the middle, so both. And then move this into the middle. We can also go down here and say when this is on 16, we can have it to burst. And we can say right now, even though this says 16 grains, it's only bursting one at a time. And I can burst 16 right now, but if I turn this down, the emitter will follow that. We can say how long, so have them to the life of them before they disappear, how long the life should be, 1 bar, or very fast. And the rate of it, and you can randomize the life and the rate. Plus we can have it randomized, skip some of the particles. So let's say 30%, it will skip some of them. So it'll be kind of random. And we can have them, right now, they're gonna fade. You can see how they look, it will fade in and fade out. So it's pretty nice. So this is actually what it can do. But the cool thing is that right now, let's have it burst 13 and go back here. And let's try and put in some other. See, it goes backwards here. So right now I'm gonna go in here and don't say reverse. And take this on octave. Why isn't it? Oh, it's not allowed. We can normalize it. So it will be normalized until it will clip. And just try. So it depends, of course, which sample you would put in, how the sound will react. We can also try and do something else that, let's say, let's take a new one. I'm gonna zoom out and say Command F. Take a new one and then put in a drum loop. Yep. So right now it just sounds like this. Take this off. So maybe it's not that nice to hear on because it is. It should be a full drum loop, but we can make it like a what's it called? Like a sample player where you scan the sound. Make this shorter. So then we have our starting point for the sample, and just let's take an LFO and put it in here, and let's take a ramp up and take this to 2 bars and try and map this to the start and hear it. maybe 4. And then spread it out and have, let's try and have a bunch. Let's put them in here. Just have 4. Doesn't matter, but with the pitch. So you can see what happens here now is that they are a little more contracted. So we can go in here and say, now we split it up a little more, and we can go this off. Try and pitch it. Make some funky stuff out of it. We can also try the pitch, see what it happens. And again, so you can make some funky stuff out of normal stuff with it. To make some, it could be a build up or something in a down break or something. Yes, do you have any questions?
One thing I wanted to ask was when you had it playing in kind of that like
bursting
burst way.
Yeah.
Could you turn up the rate so that it happens like really fast instead of just on the quarter note?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what you do in here is the rate here.
Yeah, the rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the live. Yep. We could do that. We can go back and try and put in just. Let's just try and put this in. And have this go on 16th. And go in here to our burst. So right now, let's just have it on 4. And then the rate could be faster. And the lifetime. And the speed. Scale. Let's see if this still goes to, that's why it does this. Remove this. So right now it's over here. So here we can control where it should be triggered. Again, it's the burst. 4. So we can say like this, and we can put this on. Right? Go twice as fast. And the lifetime, take this down a little bit. And then we can tune it down here and say, instead of octaves, then don't have this on. Right? So it's very useful to make some new kind of sounds, right? And we can just, hell, try this one. And again, reverse them, filter. We can even say we wanted to it's called the shaper. The rate up. Ableton 8. So it's more rhythmical. Yep. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening out there, and see you next Wednesday. Then we're gonna have, I think it's the last one in this series we're gonna take. So see you there, and bye.